Hi guys, this is Ratchet and we are playing Criminal Case, Supernatural Investigations, Case 12, Dead Heat. Let's start chapter 3 and Hope is here and it says it's an emergency and what is it? What's wrong, Hope? Scrooge is missing. I knew it had something to do with Iguana Pig. I was changing the bed in his cage. I left the door open for approximately 30 seconds, and when I came back, he was gone. It kills me to think of him wandering loose in the perilous desert. He's a Iguana Pig. He could have gotten far. We'll keep an eye out. Thank you, Katerina. Wow, that's the most emotional I've seen Hope get about anything. She got attached to that little guy real quick. We'll keep an eye out for Scrooge while we do another sweep of the party throne for Mackenzie's first big race. Let's go. How could he just run like that? Alright, let's investigate that party again. I'm like, what is that red goo? And it's not blood. So, Katerina, what else was left behind at the victim's pre-race party? The lock screen on this phone shows Mackenzie's car. It must be his phone. There could be a lead on it. Let's get it unlocked. And there's a bunch of stuff on this drink tray. Could be a clue hidden here. When we catch up to our killer, their party will be over. Yeah. Alright, let's look through the tray. Okay. Utah Law School. Oh. Katerina, this brochure for Utah Law School was in that tray of glasses and bottles. And there's a note with the victim's name on it. A law school brochure is a weird thing to give a guy starting a career as a race car driver. Let's see what the rest of the note says. Okay. I feel like it has something to do with his uncle. Alright, let's unlock the phone. Perfect. Now let's have Hope search Mackenzie's phone for clues. Okay. Alright, now it's just a note. Jerry, you can still drive flashy cars as a lawyer, Uncle Rolf. Oh, I get it. Katerina, note on the law school brochure in the party tray says, Jerry, you can still drive flashy cars as a lawyer. And it's signed Uncle Rolf. Wait, Uncle Rolf? That means the note was written by the victim's uncle. You'd think Rolf would have been proud his nephew was going to be a racer too. Why would he give Jerry a law school brochure the night before his first big race? Let's ask Mr. Mackenzie about this. What, you didn't want your nephew to be a racer like you? Mr. Mackenzie, why did you give Jerry this brochure for law school? He was going to be a famous racer like you. That's exactly why I had to stop him. Look, I know the racing life. It's fast and it's dangerous. He said this warning proves it. Jerry was a smart kid. I tried to show him he could have a safety, security, and a nice car. He just shouldn't be a racer. Why not? Too dangerous. You'll think I'm nuts, but the only things that help me feel safe in my own racing career were protection spells my grandmother taught me. What? I'm happy all I have to protect myself against now are sunburn and drowsiness. For those I have sunscreen and Rocket Cow. I wanted that simplicity for Jerry too. Sometimes the danger of something is too alluring to stay away. That's why we became accident investigators. I don't think I'm the only one disappointed with Jerry's life choices. An old church friend of his was yelling at him at the party last night. Oh, our Mormon guy. Old church friend? That's gotta be Flake. Katerina, let's see what he was yelling about. Yeah, he weren't pretty honest with us, and from the South Park episode about Mormons, I know that you Mormons are trying to be nice as possible. Flake, we heard you had some harsh words with Jerry at the party last night. Of course I did. The son of a biscuit was gonna leave the Mormon church for good. I noticed he stopped coming to worship, and eventually he stopped seeing any of his Mormon friends at all. Even me. Made me feel like flipping scrod. I even heard someone saw him drinking a beer once. And what, you don't drink beer? Sounds like you were seeing a side of him you didn't like. We got young elders at the church who look up to him. He's gonna set a good example. I almost brought a group of missionaries out to see his race, and I bought extra sunscreen so we could make a whole day of it. But there's no way I expose other elders to Jerry's crude behavior. Oh, my heck, I'm sorry I got so peeved just now. I should go. Yeah, I told you, they're trying to be nice. Well, is there something interesting on the phone? Katerina, I found Scrooge. He was definitely inside one of my boots. Oh, good. I apologize for my extreme reaction. I got a little carried away. No sweat. I'm glad he's safe and sound. Hey, did you get a chance to check out our victim's phone? Yes, I found messages between Jerry and Xander. Oh. Sure, Xander was trying to sign a Rocket Cow sponsorship with Jerry. Well, Jerry wanted out of the deal they were making, and Xander was enraged. There was much yell typing in capital letters, and Xander finishes by telling Jerry, "You'll be sorry." Sounds threatening to me, Katerina. Let's go talk to Xander. What, he didn't want a sponsorship? Why is that? Xander, why did you threaten Jerry for refusing a racing sponsorship with Rocket Cow? Because that sponsorship could have made us both a ton of money, and until the last minute, he was on board. I got up early this morning, chugged a couple of Rocket Cows, slathered myself with sunscreen, and went out to Bonneville to seal the deal. I know a couple of spells, so while I was standing out there on the salt flats, I recited some of them, hoping their power would move him to sign. But that's when he texted me saying he was out. Oh. So then you whipped up a different kind of spell to get revenge? Rocket Cow doesn't sponsor corpses. Jerry was worth more to me alive than dead. I guess he got what he wanted. I can't bother him about it ever again. Oh, but it could be you. Katerina, there's a common theme in people's beefs with the victim. They disagree with his life choices. Well, yeah. His uncle, a famous race car driver himself, wanted a less dangerous and more practical life for Jerry. Flake was outraged that Jerry distanced himself from the Mormon church and set a bad example for younger members. Meanwhile, Xander was desperate for Jerry to sign on for a Rocket Cow sponsorship. But of all these people, who would curse Jerry's car? There's more digging to do. I think we should search the garage again. Okay. So literally everybody disagreed about what you wanted to do with your life. Why can't you just let him choose what he wants and not push him to do something? Katerina, a mortar and pestle are weird things to have in an auto garage. But they're not weird things to use to curse someone. Let's get a sample of the stuff in the mortar. And speaking of strange things to find in a garage, what's this broken stone? Let's reassemble it. I can feel we are close to the finish line on this case, Katerina. Heh, good one. Okay, let's restore whatever this is. Oh. Right. Whoa, Katerina, this memorial plaque was made for the victim. Wait a minute, you're right. This engraving looks like a whip-poor whale, the same type of bird Felix said would capture the victim's soul after death. Was the killer already planning Jerry's funeral? We can't be sure, but it's weird. Let's send this plaque to Felix. Maybe he can tell us more about it. Okay. Alright, now let's collect something from the mortar and pestle. Great, let's get a sample from the mortar and pestle to Priya for testing. Okay. What's this general plaque about? I mean, is there something on it? Felix, we know that's a whip-poor whale on the memorial plaque the killer made for the victim. Yes, which links it to the head you found in the victim's jacket, left to protect the killer from the victim's soul. Did you learn anything else from the plaque? Well, I asked Priya to check it out under the microscope, and she found black hairs caught in the talons of the bird carving. It's grody, I know, but this was part of the protection spell the killer cast with the bird head. The killer had to put some of their own hair on a representation of the bird to stay with the body after burial. This proves that your killer's got black hair. Katerina, research for a black hair practitioner of black magic. Yeah. And now the dark powder. Priya, what was the substance in the mortar and pestle Katerina found at the garage? Your instincts were right. It was an ingredient from the cursed jar the killer put in the victim's car. In the jar was some monk shoot, a poisonous plant that caused the purple flames during the crash. But the killer had also burned monk shoot, ground the ashes in the mortar and pestle, and added a drop of their own blood. Then they smushed the mixture onto the dead rat's fur in the curse jar, which Felix told me strengthens the spell. Wait, the killer's blood was in the sample we took? Yes, mixing it with the ash made it a tough sample to work with, but I was able to discover that the killer's blood type is AB positive. We've almost got enough evidence to AB positive about who the killer is. Yeah. Katerina, the killer will be cursing their fate when we arrest them. Let's go get him. Yeah. Who put the curse? That's a brown hair, not black. He's all plus. Oh, it's not even the Mormon. What the fuck were you thinking, Uncle? You didn't want him to race, but that doesn't mean you had to put a curse on his car. Ralph Mackenzie, you cursed your nephew's car and it killed him. A curse? Are you crazy? I don't believe you're real accident investigators. You got that right. We're supernatural investigators and we got all the evidence we need to prove you're his killer. Supernatural investigators? Then you can help me. I'm desperate. Why don't you start with an explanation? I wanted to be a racer ever since I was a little boy. I prayed for it every night before going to sleep. One night, in a dream, the devil came to me and said I could be a champion racer. What? But only if I was the last race car driver in my family. What? If any member of my bloodline took up racing after me, I would be punished with eternal hellfire. Eternal hellfire was scary, of course, but I was so desperate I agreed immediately. Sure, a deal with the devil. What's the worst that could happen? Next race I came in first place, and I won every race after that. The deal really worked. I had an amazing racing career. But after I retired, my nephew Jerry started talking about racing. I begged him not to and tried everything from scuba lessons for his birthday to trying to get him into law school. Nothing worked. He registered for his first ever race in Bonneville, and I started to see signs. What do you mean, signs? Signs the devil was preparing to cast me into eternal hellfire. A few days ago, my stove burst into flames for no reason. Later, I was in a grocery store and this old lady was just staring at me. Clearly, the devil was coming for my soul. So I concocted a curse to keep Jerry from becoming a racer. To save both of our souls. I had no choice. Mr. Mackenzie, that is one of the craziest stories I heard as a supernatural investigator. We'll let our chief sort you out. Oh dear. So, Mr. Mackenzie, you say a deal with the devil compelled you to kill your nephew with a curse, huh? Yes, it was Jerry or me. At least now both of our souls will avoid eternal hellfire. You know the devil isn't real, right? Well, he appeared in my dream. He may be signed in blood. He has to be real. Sounds like it was a pretty crazy dream. But that's all it was. You were so desperate to become a racer, your subconscious helped you believe it was possible. No! No! It had to have been real! What have I done? Well, the good news is your career as a successful race car driver was actually due to your talent and determination. But if the devil isn't real, what about black magic? The curse I cast upon my nephew. Oh, black magic and curses are totally real. And dangerous, as you know. Unfortunately, that means your case will be taken seriously in a court of law. You can't be tried for the murder. Looks like your eternal hellfire is knowing you murdered your nephew for no reason. I destroyed my family. I deserve this hell. Oh my god. Katerina, I can't believe Mr. Mackenzie thought his success as a racer was because of a deal with the devil he made in a dream. And then he murdered his nephew to avoid the consequences. The greatest trick devil ever pulled was convincing the world he actually existed. Well, you know what do exist? Demons and werewolves. And they are cooking something up together. We gotta find out more about that. Idle hands are the devil's playground. Katerina, we got work to do. Dude, what were you thinking? Alright, we're gonna stop here. We're gonna continue playing in the Call of the Wild #2. So, thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave a like to this video, and I'll see you again. Goodbye!